Hi there, this is Josh McKinnon with McKinnonHomes.ca, brokered by eXp Realty, and we're talking condominiums, specifically reserve fund study. What is it? How do we use it? And how does it help us? Let's take a look. So the reserve fund study. Well, the best way to explain it is to have a look at what one actually looks like. So why don't we jump in and take a look at an example. All right, we have the reserve fund study on a property that is called Aspen Place. So it's a condominium corporation. So what is this? Well, every 5 years, a condominium corporation is required to do a reserve fund study so that they know exactly what they're looking after. They have a budget on how to go forward. They know how much money they should put in the piggy bank, so to speak, and I'll explain what that is. And they know the shape of the property. It is done by engineering firms. And the reason is because we want people that know what they're doing. They can also do cost estimating and make sure that in the future that condominium remains in great condition. All right, let's take a look. Well, as you can see, Aspen Place is townhomes. So in this case, it shows a bunch of townhomes. It's going to have lots of pictures. And as you can see here by the table of contents, it's going to explain some of the components in which they're going to be inspecting. It also tells us these things here, the components, these are all the things that are actually looked after by the condominium board. That's why they're inspecting. They want to know, even your attic in this case, underground water and sewer systems, those belong to the board, and you're part of the board. So you want to make sure that you know what you're getting into. Normally when people say they're having trouble with their condominium, it's normally because there's been a special assessment. And as you can see, I'm kind of zipping through some of this, but the main reason is I want to get into this component here and this component here. So what happens is normally you know ahead of time how much money is going to need to be in the piggy bank, or in this case, the reserve fund. And if it's properly funded, then we'll know exactly where we should be. So here it says 2021. And let's take a look at another date, 2017. So that's 4 years ago. And so next, like the following year in 2022, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to do another reserve fund study. And then it'll have to be prepared in time so that it can go to the annual general meeting and that it can be adopted by the board. All right, let's take a look at this one. So by 2021, there should be this much money in the reserve fund. Why? Because it's going to be needed throughout the many years. And how much should we put in? Well, it says here, annual contribution, $29,785. That is split between all the unit holders. And we'll get into that in another video, how much of that actually belongs to you and why your condo fee is a certain amount. But in this case, there's 25 units in the building and it's pretty much split equally between all 25. There might be some exceptions to that. So, and then we have a closing balance of this. So by the end of 2021, there should be a little over $200,000 in the reserve fund. Now, are they planning any expenses this year? No, they are though the following year, and they're going to spend $41,000. And the reserve fund will then say exactly what they should do that year so that they have plenty of time to plan and get the right kind of people hired. Now, they also put in here how much they expect inflation to be. So that's an important number because they actually look at that as well. So if a roof today, here's an example, let's say to re-roof your house or the place you live in would cost $5,000. But in the future, in 25 years, it would cost $10,000. Well, we don't care about the 5,000, we care about the 10 that we would need to save because we want to make sure we have $10,000 when we need a roof. Most people should operate their home this way, but most homeowners do not. But condominiums do because there is more than one owner involved and they're trying to maintain a certain value. All right, funding requirements. So then they show right here. Well, how much are we going to need each year? And we saw that. In 2021, they don't need any money to come out of here. And it's supposed to be in an interest-bearing account. So that money also ends up helping everything grow. So you can see here, this is actually what the management company would do in this case. Not all condominium corporations have management companies, and we'll talk about that in another video. All right, well now we kind of got an idea what it is we're looking for. It's numbers. We want to see if there's any problems. And how do we know whether or not there's this much money or more or less? Well, this is only an estimate, so we're going to get into that in another video. So, as you can see, the importance of a reserve fund study is super important. It's like buying a car and getting all the warranties and all the information about what has been done to the car, when it was done, what kilometers went by. That's what it is. And because you're buying into a condominium corporation the way you do, you want to make sure that your property is in great shape. So that's the reserve fund study.